Welcome to Inside Out, Mental Health at Work and in Life, where we explore what it really means to thrive, not just survive, in our work, our relationships, and ourselves. We're continuing to dive into Gallup's 2025 State of the Global Workplace report, because frankly, there's too much in it to ignore. The data paints a clear picture. Around the world, people are not thriving. Just 33% of workers say they feel that way about their lives. The rest are struggling or suffering. And when you zoom in on the emotional cost behind those numbers, you realize we're not just dealing with a workforce problem. We're looking at a human crisis. But let's set the data aside for a moment. Picture this. Someone shows up to work on time every day. They meet their targets. They smile in meetings. On the surface, they're doing fine, but underneath, they're exhausted, drained, unfulfilled. They go home, collapse on the sofa, and feel nothing but numbness. That person is not thriving. And the truth is, many of us either are that person or we know them. Thriving isn't just about being happy. It's about feeling hopeful, feeling connected, feeling like you matter. It's a deep sense of alignment between your values and your daily life. And most of us spend a huge chunk of that daily life at work, which makes our experience of work a key part of whether or not we thrive. Gallup's research shows that people who are engaged at work are far more likely to thrive in life. But right now, only 21% of employees say they feel engaged. That means the majority of people around the world are spending most of their week in environments that leave them disconnected from purpose, joy, and fulfillment. We need to ask why. Because this isn't just about well-being programs or stress management. It's about the basic conditions of work. It's about whether people feel safe to speak up, whether they are treated with dignity, whether they are trusted to do their job and recognized when they do it well, whether the environment they're in allows them to grow or whether it slowly wears them down. For years, we've placed the burden of well-being on the individual. Do more yoga, sleep more, use the app, practice mindfulness. These things aren't bad, but they can't fix what's broken. You can't meditate your way out of a toxic team. You can't self-care your way through a culture that ignores your voice. We can't expect people to thrive in systems that were never designed with human flourishing in mind. So what does it look like when work supports well-being instead of draining it? It's when managers are trained not just in tasks, but in empathy. When leaders take the time to ask how people really are and listen to the answer. It's when flexibility isn't a favour, but a default. It's when people are measured not just by what they produce, but by how they are doing while they do it. In many ways, thriving is a quiet thing. It's not loud or flashy. It's the absence of dread on a Sunday night. It's the energy to connect with your kids after work. It's the space to feel hopeful about your future, because the present doesn't feel like a threat. That's the emotional goal we're aiming for, not just productivity, not just performance, but a life that actually feels good to be in. So I invite you to reflect. What would thriving look like for you, not as a buzzword, but in your real, messy human life? And what would need to change in your workplace to make that possible? Because thriving isn't a luxury. It's not a nice to have. It's a measure of how well we're designing our world for people to actually live in. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Inside Out, Mental Health at Work and in Life. If you found today's episode helpful, please share it with someone who might benefit from these insights. And as always, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Let's keep this conversation going. Drop us a message or connect with us on social media. Until next time, Take care of yourselves and each other.